How long is this video?
She was then arrested for check fraud, and during that hearing, it turned out that it was found that she stole almost $1 million from another guy.
Do you guys see why coffee is so important? I hope you're seeing just how a lack of this affects the mind. Joseph, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
You know something that I think isn't talked about enough? People who get online and cry for the purpose of gaining sympathy from the internet. This video that I'm about to play got over 58 million views. 58 million people watched this video. And there's a controversy going on right now about this particular video. Well, I'm about to play it for you guys real quick. The caption of this video reads, "Being a single mom is making your own birthday cake on your birthday so that your babies can feel happy they are singing to you." And so here's the video of a woman who, I guess it's her birthday, and she's fixing a birthday cake for herself so that her kids can feel happy that they're participating on her birthday. But the sad part is she has to make her own birthday cake. The story gets deep. No more wasting time. Let's get it. How long is this video? Oh, thank God, it's over. So you guys saw there, she's mixing up different ingredients. Looks like she's about to get into some baking, but wait, she's crying throughout the whole thing, and you're supposed to sit there and wonder, oh, why is she crying? That's what you're supposed to do. Wonder, why is she crying? You're supposed to feel sorry for her, and that's exactly what happened in this video. The mission was accomplished. The video got over 58 million views. And the thing is, a lot of people always wonder in these types of videos because there are communities of single mothers, women going through divorce all over the internet, but especially on TikTok. They get together and they post videos like this, crying. You've seen it plenty of times. Women crying about leaving their men. Yes, they're crying. They are the victim. When they left their men, some of them, the man didn't even do anything wrong. But you got to keep in mind here, these chicks who are out here shedding tears while they're cooking and making cupcakes or in their car, talking to the camera, they had to set it up. They need a tripod. They need to make sure there's good lighting, right, before they do anything. And then they have to start crying. And you got to remember, at some point, they forgot to hit record and then had to go back and wipe the tears off and say, oh shit, I got to cry again. Maybe I could go a little bit harder this time. And so it's kind of amazing that this happens over and over again. And the same chicks are able to garner sympathy from the internet. But this video right here took a different turn, because when you watch this video and head over to the comments, you will be a bit confused. Here's what people are saying in the comment section. The top comment says, "You would never last in a man's world." Oh, they're not being nice. In fact, they're not sympathizing with the tears. Why is that? Because it usually doesn't go this way. Here's somebody else who says, "After watching Father Stitch, LOL, this is funny now." So the Father Stitch. So did the father respond is the question. Here's somebody else who says, "I came here directly after watching the Father Stitch. I have so many questions." Yes, guys, I read that right. This commenter says, "I came here directly after watching the Father Stitch." So he responded to this video. She says, "I have so many questions." 66K likes on this comment. Here's another woman who says, "Back with snackies after Dad's Stitch for a response." Here's the intriguing thing about the direction that this whole situation is going is a lot of guys will sit down and wonder, why don't we ever see the men respond? Why don't we ever see the husbands respond to this whole situation? And once in a while they do, and in this situation, we finally have a man who did. Here's a bit of backstory to give more context. to exactly what the husband said and what followed that video. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
The girl behind me is currently going viral all across social media after she posted a very emotional video onto her TikTok page. And I'm not gonna lie, watching that video was very emotional. Seeing the life of a single mom. She said she was baking her own cake on her birthday just so her children could be happy, singing happy birthday to her. And everyone felt really bad for her. That is up until her ex-husband decided to actually respond to her video that she made. In his video, he basically said that she is a fraud. He says that he has full custody of their children. She doesn't even have a full-time job. She's always out partying. And he just cannot stand seeing a bunch of people on social media praising her. He showed proof that she owes over $21,000 in child support, which is honestly just unreal. He also showed that she was actually
Damn, $21,000 in child support. $21,000. She's a deadbeat.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I know. Because guys, listen, there were chicks supporting that chick in that video. That's why it was popular in the beginning. There were chicks there trying to comfort her. Oh no, look at you crying while the camera's there on your birthday. Little did they know she owes over $21,000 in child support and is also a criminal. Let's keep listening.
Arrested for check fraud after she stole $1 million from someone. And then he also showed that she actually faked cancer a few times before. So with all that information that this girl's ex-husband, shared in his video, a lot of people just view this girl's viral video a lot differently. People went from praising her to now hating on her. So this is definitely a wild situation. And I'm just really curious to know your thoughts about all this.
All right, so let's check out a few comments in response to that particular video right there. The first comment says, the fact that she set up the camera to record the crying was my clue to her nonsense. That is a dead giveaway, in my opinion, to anybody who, listen, it's one thing if you're talking about a situation and you don't expect to get emotional. People aren't stupid. We can tell. We can tell when that happens. That's okay, right? If it's something that grips you and you weren't expecting to cry, but no, this was premeditated. And there's so many cringe videos just like this of women who it just starts out with them crying on camera and the tears and everything. It's cringe, it's horrible. And the fact that people out here fall for that and actually want to support the people that do that is insane. Somebody else here added, why didn't she just buy a cake? Here's somebody else who says, bro, did not let that slide. And this next person says he came with receipts. But I want you guys to really hone in on this perspective here from a female commenter here who says, I believe Elizabeth, this chick right here supports this woman still, even after all that's been exposed about her. So we have a woman here who's over $21,000 in debt for child support, who has criminal charges of theft, amongst other things, and is right now, as I speak, gaining more support. There are people who are calling her out, yes, but there are a lot of people who are still supporting her. Do you think that if you were painted in this light after trying to deceive the internet and were exposed in this way, would still be gaining support from chicks online? No, you wouldn't. You would be painted as a fraud, my friend. You would definitely be shamed, as you should be if you decide to do some goofy shit like this. But it wasn't enough for me to hear it from somebody else. I wanted to actually hear it from the actual ex-husband himself. No more wasting time. Let's check it out.
So I've been sent this video a lot over the last few days. People asking my thoughts and my comments on it. And before anyone says, oh, you don't know her situation, or, you don't know what she's going through. Well, I do, because I lived it. I'm her ex-husband, and right now I have full custody of our kids. This is our parent agreement. As you can see, I have all weekdays and weekends, time sharing with the kids, all at holiday academic breaks. And for her to get any rights back to the kids, these are the things that she needs to do. And yes, child support, she owes that. It's up to over $21,000. So she's a mother and doesn't pay child support.
Guys, do you know how hard it is for a man to get full custody? It's extremely difficult. Usually you hear people say, unless if she's on drugs or out here doing criminal shit, then you're going to have a tough time. It's best for you to work things out. But criminal behavior is exactly what this woman was guilty of. And when the courts decided to look over her records, they decided that he was a better parent than she was. But the modern women online, especially the divorced women, disagree and are calling this man right here a narcissist, of course, right? Let's keep listening.
She was then arrested for check fraud, and during that hearing, it turned out that it was found that she stole almost $1 million from another guy. And also, she faked cancer in the past. These are scans that she would send and post on her page before. So, to sum it up, this person, for people that follow her or giving her praise and telling her how strong and how, amazing she's doing, well, she's really not a full-time mom. She barely has her kids. She goes out all the time. And she doesn't even have a job even. So she just really not someone that other single moms should really be looking towards as for inspiration or anything like that. There are a lot of, hardworking single moms out there, and a lot of respect to them. All I just want to say is she just isn't one of them. So hopefully everyone can see this video and know, who she really is. Peace.
All right, so there he is. He exposed her for who she really is. But you'd be surprised to know that this was not enough for the modern women on TikTok. In fact, a lot of them believe that she is innocent. He had a whole account set up to pretty much expose this chick, and they thought that that was a red flag, a TikTok account. I know this was true because when I went to go try and find him, I found nothing on his TikTok page but this message. Here's what the message read. It says, "It's clear that others do not want to listen to the truth or use facts and logic to form their opinions. My ex-wife has irreparably damaged many people's lives, including mine." Well, before going viral, in quotation marks, he says, goes on to read, "I've tried to use the justice system in the past to put a stop to her destructive behavior, but as many people in domestic situations have probably experienced, you'll be laughed out of the room." And so it sounds like he was falsely accused of putting hands on her. And he wouldn't have the kids if it was proven that he actually did that. He wouldn't. Shout out to him for dodging that bullet. And I pray for every man out here who's being falsely accused. Goes on to say, "This led to social media, which I attempted to use as a tool to hopefully prevent the next person from getting deceived and ultimately by my ex-wife." So it also sounds like he started using social media to kind of expose her character because she was creating chaos, not only in her life, but has other victims, like the man who she stole $1 million from. Goes on to say, "Taking into account the inflammatory and defaming nature of her latest untruths told about me, for the safety of myself and our children, I will not be engaging with my ex-wife online any longer. One day I would tell my story, but today is not that day. I ask that you please respect my privacy and remember that as the sole financial provider and safekeeper of my ex-wife's children, any actions taken against me directly impact their well-being." I'm going to touch on that here. I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. I know he's asking people to protect his privacy, even though he's out here defending himself. I do want to acknowledge that, like, once you're out here and you're public about your personal life, even if it's for a good cause, you do leave yourself up to attacks from the public and unfavorable circumstances that are just a byproduct of the territory of the internet. It's a crazy place. And here's a good example of that. I want to show you how slow modern women actually are. To combat the narcissist who they're claiming this man is, to combat him exposing her, guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to affect his pockets. They're trying to ruin him financially by getting him fired from his job, etc. Can you guess? Comment down below. Guess why that is probably a bad idea. If you figured it out already, comment down below. Why do you think that's probably a bad idea? And I remember another video, bro, where women did the same thing to another woman who went online, and her man was in Vegas, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was suspecting that he might have cheated or something like that. They got that man fired from his job. It's almost laughable when you think about it. But, you know, this is what happens when you have a bunch of emotional people in a gynocentric society where they actually have influence to get you fired because the boss is going to be like, oh, that's not how you treat women. And they're going to believe all women regardless of evidence. But they're actually trying to stop this man's source of income, how he makes money, which inevitably affects the children. I mean, how slow can you be? How slow can you be? And I know that's a fact because she actually asked him to please stop. Here's a video of her, apologetic and, of course, regretting making that video. Let's check it out.
I want to make something extremely clear, the clearest that I could possibly make it. I do not want anyone sending hate to my ex-husband. I know people think that that is a way of supporting me, but it's not. Going after his job or his home safety is never something that I want, because that does affect my children as well. And that's not helpful in this situation at all. So that's something that I'm really begging everyone not to do. I never wanted any hate against him. As you can see, all of my past posts are always just me being a mom, being with my kids, or posting food or whatever else I could possibly post. I haven't used my page to bring any hate on him until recently defending myself. So bringing that to him is not something that I want either. So all I ask is that you don't do that. You don't go after his career or his house, because that also is hurtful to my children. Thank you.
All right. Don't go after his career. Don't go after his house. Why would you think that's a good idea? Do you guys see why coffee is so important? I hope you're seeing just how a lack of this affects the mind. This is when you start doing crazy things like this. And you won't believe the responses to her video. Here's a user who says, be strong. He brought the attention to himself, not you. Yeah, but you're going to negatively affect her mental well-being. She's already obviously mentally unstable. But once you cut off the only source of support for those children, they're all screwed. Somebody else who says, narco is worse than physical. It's mental and it's emotional that some never recover from. I'm assuming that's supposed to say, I'm so sorry you were going through this. I support you. So if his behavior is an example of narcissism, what were her decisions that she made in life an example of? Women make mistakes and get forgiven. Men are narcissistic. Somebody else who says, we see you, Elizabeth. You are seen and you are heard. Here's another person who says, she's scared. Somebody else here added, when a narcissist can no longer control you, they try to control what others think of you. You got this, girl. Absolutely insane. I do want to say that it does seem like the overwhelming majority of people don't actually support this chick at all. And it seems like they're just choosing to believe the actual pictures of her and her mugshot and the actual evidence with records showing that she's a deadbeat dad. If you were again in this situation, there'll be no explanation that's needed for you to justify you being a deadbeat dad who is in debt over $21,000 in child support. There'd just be no excuse for it. And this is why men's platforms are needed. Listen, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.